2025, and 2025 is not the year of the foundation, although we expect that a lot of legacy planning structure will be implemented this year in the UAE, but positively, definitely, without a doubt, the year of the family office. Family offices have grown in importance around the world over the past 2 decades, and no place on earth is hotter than the UAE, despite this being January. So, single family office, multi-family office, why are people flocking to UAE? Sure, what is the offering? What are the options for global family to actually make use of the jurisdiction? Kath Zagatti and I will explain you everything over a short series of webcasts. And if you are interested in more, we remain at your disposal later on. Enjoy the series. Thank you. Welcome to a new mini-series signed by not only MHQ, but also by our sister firm Rethink, where we will talk to you about everything family office with a single multi in the UAE. I'm joined today, as usual, by Kath Zagatti, partner private clients with MHQ. Kath, how are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me today.
Excellent. So over the next episodes, we are going to deep dive into everything single and multi-family office. So where do you want to start?
Yes, correct. So today, Yann, I wanted to discuss the definition and the differences between SFO and MFO. If you recall, last year we discussed a lot about SFOs. We compared the jurisdictions, the types of corporate vehicles, and the activities as well. So what I wanted to do today is to discuss about MFOs instead, and perhaps compare them with SFOs so we better understand how they differ. Mm-hmm. So first off, how do you differentiate SFOs and MFOs from a definition standpoint?
So let's start with the family office as such, which is effectively a business that does not necessarily need to be profitable, but that is a business. So it's an institution that has the purpose of servicing financial or parafinancial services for one family, usually, or multi. We'll come back to that. So really, you are building a business, and that can be a small organization which is embedded into another larger group. It can be slightly broader. That's the emerging family office that we have here. And then you can move to something that is much more institutionalized, where you would actually segregate the structure itself, put it into something standalone. So you embed, and down the road, you actually create something that is a real infrastructure, fully staffed, almost no outsourcing, etc. So that would be the family office organization, which can, as you can see, evolve over time, evolve depending on needs, etc. Now, who does it service is the question. And that's where you find the definition of single versus multi. If you service one family only, then you fall into the single family office definition. If you, over time, opt to service multiple families, then you would end up into a multi-family office definition. This is not neutral, because depending on the services that you undertake and to whom you provide them, some regulatory differences will exist. So this is what we are going to dig into today.
Yes, exactly. So I understand SFOs and MFOs have a lot in common, both essentially being wealth management entities serving families, right? That's the definition. But then would you be able to explore the main differences among these two types of family offices?
So we can go a little bit more granular, but at heart, some of the salient differences, at least in the UAE, one of the themes that we see all around the world is the theme of privacy. And families are increasingly attracted to high regulation jurisdiction where they can ideally operate a proprietary investment structure without being supervised, and ideally in a manner where there's very limited data in the public domain. So here you see a first difference. If you are a single family office, just for one family, it is quite easy in the UAE to request that no data be in the public domain with respect to controllers and principals, i.e. the client, since we service only one. So that's relevant because if you are a multi-family office, you are generally not able to request this special exemption of no data in the public domain. Now, you can reach almost the same solution by, for example, using a foundation to hold the shares, etc. But that's one of the differences, is that the moment you go multi, you become a little bit more of a public animal. Another difference is, of course, to whom you provide the services. When you are one family, you are exclusive, so you can tailor really the services to the need of one family. Where you tend to go to multiple families, yes, you have a common part that will be very similar, but you will need to define some services that will be more generic and not necessarily as specific for every families. So that's one of the core differences. I'll give you two more. Obviously, if you're alone, you pay everything. So then you would need to cater to that, because if you want a broad spectrum of services, then of course that generates some costs, and the family needs to be willing to fork that money up front. Whereas you have some economies of scales if you are a multi-family office, because the running cost will be shared, whether in percentages or because of use or a combination of both. The system can vary, but positively, when you go multi, the cost will reduce and you will be able to afford a higher infrastructure in-house as opposed to outsourcing.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, and that is probably the biggest difference, is that the moment you are a single family offices, I mentioned it at the top, is you are a proprietary investment and parafinance structure. So you are pretty much not regulated at all. There's no regulatory oversight. You are handling your own money. That's fine. There's no risk for the consumers outside. Whereas the moment you go on the other side and you start managing money, which is a regulated function, then that means you need a regulatory approval. That means higher oversight, higher running costs. You need a prudential capital. Effectively, you become a money manager, despite the name multifamily office. What you are really is an asset manager. So this is a big difference, and one that actually has some, I would say, some consequences in terms of cost and logistic, but also some advantages, notably fiscal. We'll talk about this in a later edition.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Yann, for your input today and for this webcast. And for those of you who wish to know more about MFOs, we do have a comprehensive fact sheet on this topic where we touch upon the benefits, options, and permitted activities, and much more. And we will be happy to share it with qualifying applicants. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.